Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here to ask the musical question, where the hell is the Andras Schiff Complete Decca Recordings box? Every so often I try and check in and see what's going on with it, because originally it was supposed to come out at the end of last year or the beginning of this year. I don't know. I'm going to check. We're going to do this together. I have my Amazon account opened and ready to go. And when I look at my orders and I type in Andras Schiff, well, here it is. So let us look at the order details, shall we? Let's see. Ordered on September 27th, 2023. Okay. Now, I know that these things sometimes are a long time delayed, and I know that it helps to do it in advance. Also, because sometimes you get a better price from Amazon with their pre-order price guarantee thing or whatever the hell that is. So anyway, and I looked at that, but I always cross-check these things. I look at Presto Music in the UK to see if, there's a price advantage going one way or another when you include shipping and whatnot. And they had a somewhat similar release date, if I'm not mistaken. But it's impossible. In fact, I don't know. Should we go over to Presto and take a look? Nah, it's okay. They don't have it either. So what's going on? Now let's take a look at the product page. Here we are, product page, Mr. Product page. So we've got 78 CD box set. There it is. It exists theoretically, or it will exist at some point in its life. And it costs, according to this, let's see, $298. What fascinates me is that, these things on Amazon are so screwed up. It's like wonderful, betting on how screwed up they are. It says complete Decca collection, 78 CD box set. And below that, it says box set 8 CDs. Well, obviously, for $298, it's not 8 CDs, although these days, especially on Amazon, you never know what you're going to get. So anyway, the product at least still exists. For a while, I think it disappeared entirely. It suggests that we pre-order it now. Well, it's now, we're going to be pushing September shortly. So maybe as a year has gone by, I should pre-order it again. No, because then I'll get 2 of them, which is ridiculous, eventually, if it ever does exist. But here's the point. It says free release date delivery, Tuesday, December 31st. So now we're a year and a quarter, basically, further down the line from when it was originally supposed to be coming out, or when I originally ordered it anyway, or at least a year down the line. And I remember quite clearly that when I originally ordered it, and as we got closer to the release date and nothing happened, I did a little research or a little digging around, and I heard from various sources, and maybe you did too, because it may have come up in a discussion, that there was some kind of issue with the set. Because Decca, as you know, at the moment, can't get out of its own way, aside from Australian Eloquence and those reissues that are done in Australia. But Decca in the UK is a complete, total cluster. Or as they say in the army, it's foobar. And I was watching the Democratic Convention recently. I watch all the conventions, not being biased, but that word came up, and the person in question said, go look it up on Google. So you should. F-U-B-A-R. It's a military term. So, yeah, there was a real issue. In other words, there were problems with it which delayed its ultimate release. But they wouldn't say to when. So that's where it was in the fall of last year. And Decca, like I said, as you know, basically has been screwing up everything they've released. I mean, big time. I mean, the Ulcerme box had problems. The Jesse Norman box had problems. The Grumio edition had problems. I mean, one after another, and especially if they're taking material from Philips, which they have no idea what that is because that was never their label. Things get even worse. But the bottom line is, they are completely and utterly incompetent when it comes to doing these things and doing these things on time. And since September of last year, multiple large Decca boxes of things have popped up. I mean, we just did the Joan Sutherland thing, which I think is okay. At least, what I've heard of it seems to be okay. Maybe one of you will stumble across another screw up in something that they've done in that particular box. But Andras Schiff, major artist, he's done a bazillion recordings for Decca, and we're entitled to know what is going on. And they don't tell you anything. That's what really, really sort of blows my mind with these things. We've got major label, major artists, and they cannot give you an actual sensible release date, and they don't explain to you what's going on because, it's like the Politburo. The less they say, the more, maybe if they say nothing about it, they'll pretend no one is noticing. But I'm keeping my eye out. I really am, because I really am curious about this one. I don't understand what's so difficult about them, taking 78 CDs and shoving them into a box. That is, after all, what they are theoretically supposed to be doing. It's like their job. But anyway, let's see. Now I'm calling it now. Let's see if on December 31st, the Andras Schiff box actually shows up. I'll bet it doesn't. Usually when they say December 31st, that date's only up there because that's as far as they can go in projecting when something's going to be released. Usually, that means it's going to get pushed off even further down the line, months and months further down the line, and maybe not show up at all. Who knows? You never know with these people. It's just a complete puzzle and a total discographical disaster as well. Maybe they're waiting because they figure if they wait long enough, then everything will be digital streaming only and they will no longer even have to worry about physical product. There's that possibility too. I don't know, but let's see, shall we? So keep on listening, friends, and we will rendezvous at the end of the year on this particular issue and see where we are. If the box actually arrives, I will be dazzled. It seems kind of stupid to have a release date, slated for 6 days after Christmas, too. Doesn't that seem kind of ridiculous? You'd think, a big thing like that for $298.89 would be, sort of a stocking stuffer or something you throw under the tree, at least to hold it up, right? No. Anyway, that's just me. Talk to you then. Take care, friends. Take care.